Well, guys, as always, appreciate your guys' time on this lovely Monday afternoon in Boise, Idaho. Love the button up. We're just, fired up for another week, and thank you, Jesus, just for an opportunity to coach this team, man. Every time I drive into work, man, and I drive down and pray for our team and think about it, man, I'm just so thankful to be here, be a part of this community. And I think, moments like Saturday night with those helmets with, the front porch Idaho, 208 on the back, just reminds you how thankful we are to be a part of this community and be a part of this team. And, proud of our team and how we've been able to grow week in and week out. Still got a long way to go, but I really truly believe we're getting better, right? There's still a lot of things on film. Even after a win, there's still a lot of things on film that, man, we got to get fixed and get fixed quickly. But proud of our team continues to grow week in and week out. Proud of how we were able to respond to some adversity in the game, continue to thrive and improve. Feel like our defense, like we talked about last week, played better. Still lost a lot of meat on the bone there, even defensively, but played much better, played at a high level, and were able to eliminate a lot more of the explosive plays that we had given up prior. And offensively, too, man, did a really good job. Still a lot of plays out there. We had way too many drop balls, had some third downs that we need to execute, had some missed run fits by our running backs and offensive line that can happen, but we're able to be successful. And special teams-wise, our guys are playing much harder on special teams. Man, so proud of Boomer being able to create touchbacks for us. We're 2 for 2 on field goals, which is huge. Never take that for granted. Obviously, great job by App State. They had the ghost returner play against us that we didn't execute. We've practiced it, but obviously have not done a good enough job with it, and that's on us as coaches. And hats off to them. It was a good scheme, and they were able to get an explosive return. We got them field the ball cleaner. We had a couple miss fields on kickoff and punt return, or kickoff return and punt return that need to get fixed, and we will. So in all three phases, a lot of things to grow in, a lot of things that I'm proud of where our team is growing to. But we're a process-focused team, and we got to get back to work, and we got to focus on our best week of prep. In regards to Jaden Mickey, he's doing much better. Like I said, I saw him after he was released from the hospital on Saturday night. I was able to get some time with him, and he was doing much better. And even talking to him about the moment itself, when the hit happened on kickoff, and everybody saw kind of what happened on the field, and he was just back and forth saying, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." I was telling him this, and he started crying. Chokes me up even talking, because he said, "My dad told me that every night before I went to sleep." And once again, this is a young man that obviously an alum of Notre Dame, but I mean, he's lost his mom. He's been through a lot, and seeing him even come back from that injury, like I said, he's going through concussion protocols, but all tests and everything are negative for everything else, which is thank you, Jesus, for that. And so he's going through concussion protocols still day to day in regards to if he's going to be able to play this game or not, and we'll walk that path accordingly. Same with Roger Carrion. He's going to be day to day on if he's going to be able to play or not, and we're going to continue to walk that path with him. So with that being said, obviously huge opponent this week, man. Think the world of Marcus Freeman. Was blessed to be able to meet him this offseason at an event. And I mean, obviously the success speaks for itself in regards to him as a coach and him as a defensive coordinator, him as a leader. But it was just, from meeting him and just seeing him from afar, seems also just like a phenomenal leader of men, and that he cares about building young men to be champions in life. And obviously they've had a ton of success. They got a great football team, and but a lot of respect for Marcus Freeman and how he does it, not just the results on the field. In all three phases, they got a lot of different weapons. Offensively, I mean, they're 2 running backs. Obviously, Jeremiah Love, 2 of the best we'll see all season. Period. End of story. 2, in my opinion, first-round draft picks. And we got our work cut out for us stopping them. They got great schematics. Their offensive line's really good. They got receivers that can beat you consistently. So we got our work cut out for us defensively. It starts with tackling the running backs, and then CJ, their quarterback, man, he's going to be a future first-round draft pick. I don't think I'm the first one that will say that. He has that type of potential, and he has that type of leadership accuracy. That's who he is as a quarterback. So offensively, they're loaded. They're coached extremely well. They're not going to make mistakes, and we got our work cut out for us defensively. On the flip side, defensively for them, I mean, their front seven's one of the best front sevens we're for sure going to see all year. Well coached. Number 5, one of their edge rushers, is a dynamic football player. 34 is a really good linebacker for him, captain. And they're able to rotate and play a lot of guys. Very physical at the point of attack, can run. very sound. And their back end, man, they don't give up a lot of explosive plays because they play really well together. They can lock you down a man. They do a good job with some zone switch ups. And, they're going to be really, really well coached. We know that going in. Obviously, Marcus Freeman does a phenomenal job holistically. Defensive guy. Coach Ash has done, coached a lot of defense in his time. So got a lot of respect for their coaches. Coach Denbrock, it's funny, Coach Stockton, who is an alum of Notre Dame, said that Coach Denbrock was the offensive coordinator when he was there. Obviously, Jaden Mickey's an alum, so able to just cool to see a lot of different connections. And then I think the phase that they are needs to be talked about more, even with their team, is how good they are in special teams. I mean, they play relentless on special teams. I mean, it's inspiring to me just to see how hard they play on special teams. And they will fake it every opportunity they can, from punt to kickoff return to, kickoff. I mean, they are going to find ways to steal possessions, and they do a really good job with it. So that is going to be a premium for us this week to make sure that we can align to everything and do a really good job stopping their fakes, because it is going to happen, and we got to be ready for it. So ton of respect for Notre Dame, ton of respect for Marcus Freeman and what he's been able to build there and how successful they are, and they deserve a ton of credit. And so for us this week, obviously, a lot of people will be talking about this game, as they should. It's a huge opponent. My biggest focus for our team is your best is enough and your best is required. That's going to be my message for them all week. Your best is enough, but your best is required. It's your best in the meeting. It's your best in rehab. It's your best at practice. Doesn't need to be perfect. I don't need anybody, all right, we're playing Notre Dame, I got to go be Superman. No, but I do need your best. No different from our coaching staff. And that's the best of our week. So then when Saturday afternoon comes along and we're in South Bend and that place is rocking, which I know it will be, which is going to be an awesome time for our players, our fan base, our staff to be there. But we gotta prep to play our best. And then on Saturday afternoon, we're going to go cut it loose and we'll let the chips fall where they may. So with that being said, open up for questions.
I know there's a financial component to it, obviously, but just when you were approached, whenever it was 2 years ago about this game, just what made sense for you for this matchup? I remember when it was, you're not even the head coach yet.
Yeah,
I forget when
it was. I think, I don't remember when me and JD had the conversation about it, BJ, but it was somewhere in that March, April 2024, I think, somewhere in there. And I could be off maybe in the months, but I was fired up when JD brought the opportunity to go play Notre Dame. I mean, as a football fan, which we all are, and even me growing up in Southern California, I mean, Notre Dame's a team that you watch consistently year in and year out. I mean, from Rudy to South Bend to Touchdown Jesus. I mean, there's just so much amazing history attached to Notre Dame, and I've never been there. I'm fired up as a coach, fired up as just a fan of college football, to be able to be a part of this game with our players. And so we're going to be able to see the stadium the day before and go through it, because by the time we get to kickoff, it's time to go play football. And they got really good players. I believe in our players too. And at some point, the ball is going to get put down, and it's going to be 11 on 11, and we got to go work to play our best. But no, it was a no-brainer opportunity for our program. I mean, it's funny. I mean, this is that game. I think I've been open about this. We signed the contract somewhere in the summertime, 2024. I don't remember when it was, but I'm hanging out with my family in Salmon, Idaho, before we report for fall camp last season, and I'm wearing just normal street clothes, just kind of hanging out. We're at a restaurant. And the waiter comes up, and out of the blue, she's like, man, I can't wait for the Notre Dame game. And I'm like, we got a whole season before we play Notre Dame. But these games for our fan base to be able to see, it creates a lot of excitement. For me as a coach, it's game number 5. It's game number 5. And our prep, our process, we just need to continue to grow. And I don't need anybody to be Superman. I don't need anybody to be perfect, but I do need our best from our staff and our players. No different playing Notre Dame or playing App State. I need that from our players. We're process-oriented, and that's what we're going to focus on.
Just going back to Jaden real quick, there was an update sent out yesterday, and it said he'd return to his normal functional abilities. Was there moments where he couldn't move arms or legs, or I guess what was the issue to say he's back to his normal functional availability?
Yeah, he was. I mean, obviously the hit happened where he was out of sorts, but I'm not the medical expert to give you that. But I know even in that moment when he was leaving the field, putting his arms up and moving. So it was just we do everything the right way. So we go to the hospital. I mean, he had all the scans and checks to make sure from skeletal, muscular, brain, everything is good, and all that was clear. And so that's why now we are in concussion protocols. And he's doing much better. He's going through a lot right now in the training room and riding the bike and going through all of our concussion protocols that are mandated through the NCAA, which are a good thing to protect players.
Obviously, concussion protocol, you have to, let it do its thing.
Yep.
But, how badly do you see him wanting to go back, especially for this game?
Yeah, I've as an alum, he's fired up to be able to go play this game. But I had a conversation with him and his dad, even the night after, like, we are going to protect Jaden. We're going to walk this path. We are going to always put our players' health and care in front of them going to play football. Right? Period. End of story. And so we're going to, if that means he doesn't play, that means he doesn't play. We're going to put the young man in front of him playing football. Obviously, as an alum of Notre Dame, he loves Notre Dame. He loves a lot of those teammates are still there of his, but he had an injury, and we got to walk this path the right way.
Even if he doesn't pass protocol later on in the week, I'm assuming he's going on.
He's coming with us no matter what. Yeah, absolutely. Good question, bro.
There were a couple helmets that flew off in that game. I know you guys had those were brand new helmets, right? Because you're going to auction them off, whatever. Was there some issue with the helmets? Or?
Good question, BJ. I mean, we got to do both sides. I think we got to make sure they're correct from an equipment standpoint. And then obviously I'm going to have a conversation with our players today, making sure that they have the right air in them, they're strapped up the right way, because we had 5 or 6 helmets pop out in the game that can't happen. We got to keep our guys safe.
Was that the scariest moment? Is that a coach's worst nightmare with you Saturday on that field than having to go to the hospital?
Yeah. I mean, whenever a player gets hurt, man, I mean, your heart just drops, especially in the moment when you don't exactly know what's happening. All injuries are brutal, right? Even when you see that it's a leg or something, it's brutal. First off, because you care about the kid and you know how much they put into work and prep to play a violent game. I mean, that's the reality of this. Especially in that moment with Jaden, you don't know, right? I mean, you just don't know. And not that my mind went negative, but I immediately started praying, because outside of that, I couldn't do anything. I believe that prayer works, but outside of that, that's all I went to, because those are scary moments. And my heart dropped because I love that young man. I know how much he's poured in this football program to play. And in that moment, those are hard. Absolutely, Johnny. Those are hard moments.
How do you attempt to stop Jeremiah Love? He's been pretty much a monster all season long.
Yeah.
How do you attempt to stop or contain him?
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a coach that played against him. He said the second you think you got him, all of a sudden you look up and it's first down again. Right? I think that speaks to who Jeremiah Love is, right? I mean, he's extremely hard. I mean, he's going to be a top 10 football pick, top 10 draft pick, and that's earned and deserved. Elite catching the football too. An elite receiver, had 2 catching touchdowns last weekend. He's extremely hard to get down, very, very quick on his feet, strong, powerful, so he can go through you if you're high, but he also can one cut and he can get out and it's gone. So, I mean, we got to practice our tail off. I mean, it's going to be really, really hard to simulate that in practice, but we got to do our best as a defensive staff, making sure we continue to work how we leverage these formations, right? They're going to give you a lot of different formations in 11 and 12. We got to leverage formations. We got to do a good job tackling low and finding a way to get him on the ground. Jeremiah Love's going to get his, right? You go into a game with elite football players, there's not a schematic call that all of a sudden is going to take Jeremiah Love out of the game. It's not. We got to play sound, we got to play discipline, and we got to be relentless. This cannot be a one tackler type game. We got to gang tackle Jeremiah Love because he's an elite football player.
In terms of just, you mentioned going to see the stadium on Thursday, but you said it's also game 5. I mean, it's one game, it's non-conference game, but playing Oregon last year on the road, playing Penn State, I mean, playing some of these other powers or ranked teams, does that do anything for the guys? I mean, you're competitive in both those games, just to kind of see that it is just another game.
Yeah, BJ, I think every year's a new year, though. And I was thinking even this week, yesterday, and thinking about Oregon and Penn State, but we got a bunch of guys that they watched that game on TV because they weren't even a part of this team. Right? So I'm going to pull on some of those, but every year's a new year. This team is way different than last year's team. And so more just for me as a coach, leading our staff and our players, just making sure that I don't want anyone to live, because sometimes when you have these big games, it's, oh, now I got to be someone completely different as a coach or as a player. I want everyone, but I do want your best. Like, we need our best teaching this week. We need our best enthusiasm juice from our coaches. No different from our players. Like, that's really going to be my message, because it is going to be an awesome game, awesome atmosphere. But it's going to be no different when it's game number 6 and we're playing New Mexico in the blue, right? I'm so process-oriented that it's all process over outcome, that I believe that's how you can be consistent. Now, I don't have any idea how Saturday afternoon is going to go in South Bend, but that's my message. Because just the reality, there's going to be, well, this week, coach, I'm ready to give you my all. It's like, I needed your all last week, right? Like, I need your all 2 weeks. Like, no, I want your best. You come to Boise State, you are going to be held to high standard to give your best every single meeting, every single practice. And then when it comes to the game, go cut it loose. However the game goes on Saturday, we're going to still learn and grow from however it happens, because we're going to be focused on our process.
We saw Breezy warming up in pregame Saturday. Is it safe to say he's close to returning?
He is. Yeah, as of right now, he should be able to go through all of practice and be able to compete. What that looks like for him in the game, just even in regards to reps, we'll see with the 3 guys right now that have done a good job. But he's worked his tail off to get back and get healthy. And as of right now, he should be able to practice and be available.
4 games in, Spencer. How well do you feel like you know your team? I mean, you only know once the Bulls start flying, and now you've had 4 opportunities to watch them on game day. So how well do you feel like you know your team at this point?
Yeah, Jay, I think I have learned a lot about our team, but still learning every single day. And I think that's what I try to always be as a coach, because I think the second you feel like this is who we are, it can change in a moment, right? Positive or negative. Oh man, we're a team that is this way. And you just assume that, but don't continue to uphold that standard or celebrate those habits. That can waver quickly, right? So, but I've learned a lot about our team. I've seen our team grow week in week. I've seen our team play with high effort and high mentality. I've seen our team respond to adversity. I've seen us not, but I've seen us do those things. So who are we going to be week in, week out? That's why so much, almost to BJ's question, I'm just about our process and our growth, staff and players. That's what I do. I don't make calls during the game. I'm not a coordinator. I'm about our players, and are we growing every single moment we can? And I do feel like we have. We got a long way to go. We got a lot of things we got to continue to work and fix, and fired up to do so.
Is the plan to
played
keep
2 really good teams to start the season, in Miami and Texas A&M. Could have beaten both of them, and then crushed the last 2. What have they done in the last 2 weeks is better than what they've done in the first 2?
Yeah, first off, I mean, they played 2 top 5, top 10 teams to start the year, right? I mean, Miami, I don't look at the polls much, but they're top 5. I think A&M somewhere around there, both undefeated. So, I mean, first off, they played 2 of the top 10 teams in the country. Both of them came down to the last play. And so, I mean, we're playing a top 5, top 10 team in Notre Dame. And I think just like anything, when you watch the game, there's some things that didn't go their way in those games. That's what happens when 2 top 10 opponents play each other. And it could have gone either way in both those games. Then you see how they played against Purdue and Arkansas, and they played elite. Obviously, even in those games, there's some things that I'm sure as their coaching staff are going to work to clean up. And you talk about growing week in and week out. I mean, you see how they played against Arkansas. I mean, they have grown week in and week out. Hats off to Coach Freeman and their staff, because they have. I mean, they are playing at an elite level offensively. They're playing at an elite level defensively. And we talked about special teams. I mean, they are on the attack on special teams. So what I've seen from them, and that's what our heart and our goal is for our team too, is for you to continue to grow week in and week out. And Notre Dame absolutely has.
Is the plan to keep Eric Shenander on the sidelines this week?
It is, yeah. It's something we're gonna look at every single week. And once again, the reason that we played better defensively wasn't because he was on the side, but I think those are things that help. It helped bring more juice to our players, more focus, and in this landscape, like we talked about before, with iPads and the technology we're using, I think it makes a lot of sense to have a coordinator that wants to be on the sideline, being able to have them there. So going forward, this game, he's going to be on the sideline.
Switch anybody else in terms of someone going back up to the box?
We kept everything the same, because I wanted to use it as an addition and not change any dynamic on the sideline in regards to players going to their coaches. I want our players to be able to go get confronted by their coaches in regards to things to fix, encouraging them. I tell our coaches every game, we're like, our players are like boxers. We're their ring manager right next to them. Right when they come by, man, we're in the ring with them, and we're giving them quick pointers, and then we're getting them ready to go back out and get ready to fight. I wanted to keep that the same while still having our defensive coordinator on the sideline being able to, if he needed to bring all the starters or whoever's going in up, hey, quick corrections, quick hitters. And then I also wanted to be able to look into everybody's eyes and know, like, this next drive, I'm going to need your best. And I think we're getting better.
Phelps, is it one of those situations with the way he's playing, you're just going to have to find more snaps from him? I don't know if you can experience nickel with him, whatnot, but with the way he's playing, you probably got to get him on the field more.
Yeah, Johnny, I mean, so proud of Bowen Phelps. I mean, so proud of Bowen Phelps. I mean, Mountain West Player of the Week, earned, deserved. And we talked about Bowen. I mean, walk on, safety, put on scholarship, switched from safety to linebacker, and has had a huge impact on this team. Defensively, special teams, every week in and week out, he's one of our best practice players too. There's no mystical formula of why he's playing at a high level. He's playing at a high level because he practices that way. And so as coaches, he's earned more reps and more opportunities, and he's going to play a lot on Saturday.
A lot of this has been talked about Chris Marshall's just ability, but it seems like Latrell is stepping up big time, especially the last couple of games. So what can you say just about his performance and his leadership as well?
Yeah. Guys, so proud of Latrell Caples. And a guy that I know I talked about a lot last season, especially with Ashton and the amount of times we ran the ball with Ashton and were really successful. The amount of clips that on these big runs you see Latrell Caples blocking his tail off downfield to get the touchdown block for Ashton. And then fast forward to this year, he's grown even so much, not only in his play as a receiver and making people miss. I think he's tough to defend, tough to guard, but his mentality with how he practices, how he blocks for his teammates, how he encourages on the sideline. And I told him, like, I'll remember clear as day, even in Air Force, where I think it's a one-score game and our defense needs to get a stop. The main guy that I heard on the sideline saying, let's go, D, let's get the ball back, Latrell Caples. Latrell Caples. Because he cares about his team, and it always works this way. The guys that love and care about their team get a lot of individual recognition. Latrell Caples, whatever, how many yards he had on Saturday, 2 touchdowns, earned and deserved.
When it comes to Latrell, I was talking to him after Air Force game, and he says he's in the wide receiver room letting everybody know, like, and you guys, the way you guys run your offense, like, it's oftentimes it comes down to a receiver block of whether it's going to be a 10-yard gain or a 70-yard gain or whatever. Compared to Latrell, like, that first got here, and when did it click for him? Because he seems, what does it speak to the developmental process? Because, I mean, he's so different, like, not different, but just he's grown a lot.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Latrell Caples, I mean, my heart and goal for this program, built different. Our culture means building champions on and off the football field. And I think Latrell Caples is a perfect example of that. And Latrell Caples, but that's a two-way street, right? You have to want your life to be changed. You have to want to become the best version of yourself for it to work here. And Latrell Caples, that's him. And a guy that pours into his team, pours into growing to be the best version of himself. I mean, I backtracked to whatever it is 2 years ago where we're going out to do a summer workout and he tears his Achilles. Man, that's hard. A young man that football is everything to him and it gets ripped from you, it's hard. And seeing him battle back from the Achilles injury, find a way to go through spring ball, have a great season last year, coming into his senior year, continue to pour into his own development, his teams. I mean, I can sit up here all day because he's earned me talking about it. He's earned the accolades because he's not only an elite football player for us. I believe whatever Latrell Caples does after this, he plays the NFL, he doesn't. He's going to be an elite human being in this life, and that is what makes me so proud.
Guys like Latrell, but even like Chris Marshall, contested catch. Quentin Brown, contested catch.
How cool is that?
Ben pretty fierce going over the middle. I know there were a couple drops in the game, but in terms of like going up and making a play on the ball, I felt like it was one of the better performances by that receiver group as a whole in a little while. What did you see out of that?
Yeah, agreed. I think obviously the coach and me, we got to fix the drops, right? We got to the details of my assignment, especially as we continue to grow. Like we can't have those. Those are pivotal moments in the game. But proud of how our guys are making the contested catch. Right, we're going to play Notre Dame. They're going to play man coverage. They got really good defensive backs. they're going to be able to lock our guys up if we don't find a way to make contested catches. And I'm proud of how they were able to do that much better on Saturday night. And so proud of Quentin Brown, man. True freshman, going out there, big-time catch, breaks his nose. And I joke with him, like, he's probably never going to have to buy another dinner in Boise, Idaho as long as he lives. When he leaves and his face is bloody and he looks up and goes like this, the sidelines go crazy. I'm like, legend, it's already over, man. Where are we going to go from here now, brother? You know, I mean, he's a great young man. It's been cool to see we got a lot of freshmen playing. Right, and you're going to continue to even see more. There's some guys continuing to get better that we got to play and develop them. But no, I'm proud of that group as a whole. Obviously, as a coach, there's still a lot of meat on the bone in regards to where we can get them to, and they got to play. They got to prep to play their best this weekend.
You don't like stats, but Coach Casey has one of the best PFF run blocking grades in the country, and also just overall blocking. Just what can you say just about him as overall as an offensive player?
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about Cage a lot. Cage is one of the few offensive linemen we've had here where he's a captain, voted on by his teammates, because it's not just about, for Cage, it's not just about him playing well, him being an NFL draft pick 10 months from now. It's him helping the team. And that makes the entire team look up to him, respect him. Yes, because of a skill set that he has that he's worked to achieve, but he's an elite teammate. He loves his team. The amount of conversations that me and him have in my office about what he can do more, how he can lead better, how he can have an impact, it's because he loves his team. And he's playing at an elite level. I mean, I believe he's going to be one of the top offensive linemen taken because I see him work every single day, and then I see him how he plays.
You mentioned C.J. Carr. I mean, a freshman, but doesn't look like a freshman. What
No.
impresses you most about him?
Yeah, first off, he can make every throw. He's extremely athletic, can run, can make every throw. But for a freshman, I'm extremely impressed with his decision making. I mean, he gives the ball exactly where it should be, on time, where it should go. He runs a pro-style offense that has a lot of shifts and motions and complications to it, and he operates it at a very, very high level. He's obviously played in big-time games and played really, really well. So I'm very, very impressed with CJ. Like I said, he's going to be a first-round draft pick when he leaves college. I mean, that's not just my opinion, and he deserves that.
When you grow up around coaching like him, how does that really help a player develop?
Well, I think when you're around it consistently like he was growing up, I mean, I think you fall in love with the game. You fall in love with what it takes to play this game, where it's not just going out there and throwing the football. Like, he understands coverages. He understands how a defense is leaning and what you're getting and how to take advantage of it. He understands it, right? He's hard to throw off. And I think a lot of that comes from, one, he loves football because he was raised in it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.